Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Lisa Derby City. It's the 9th of September 2025. We're probably all recovering from the lunar equinox or the red blood moon that occurred between the 7th of September and should be finishing today. I don't know how you have all been feeling, but I'm been feeling a bit out of sorts, but hey, what's new? I am menopausal. But I do believe that we are affected by the energies of the moon. And with this eclipse, I've been feeling really emotional. And I'm thinking, I can't blame myself, can't keep blaming the hormones. So you know what? Let's blame the moon, the lunar eclipse. My symptoms I've been feeling very emotional, very hypersensitive, thinking a lot about past relationships. And I don't know about anybody else, but I've been having like technical issues. I'm always having technical issues, but they seem to be more paramount recently. Lots of glitches, lots of miscommunications, misunderstandings. And usually around this time, with my good friend Nin, hi Nin, she used to do like kind of like a moon workshop where you use this eclipse season to kind of like to write down your intentions. Like, and also it's about letting go as well. So some people will, if you want to let go of something, you write down a list of what you want to let go, and then you can burn it. It's kind of like, I don't want to be in one-sided relationships. I don't want to be a people pleaser anymore. That type of thing. So you write down what you want to let go, and then you can burn it. And then things that you want long term, like what do you want to manifest? It's kind of like, do you want to upgrade your car, get a new career, or just go on holiday, or more time with your friends or family? And like, it's kind of like write down that list, and that's kind of like planting the seeds. And it's kind of like to bury it in your garden, because it's kind of like planting it back to nature. Let Mother Gaia absorb that energy of what you'd like to manifest into your life. And that's literally planting the seeds. So if it's long term and you want to manifest, write down what do you want. And then you bury it in your garden or in soil, because then let the soil absorb it. And then what's those seeds manifest into reality, because these are more like your long-term goals. And that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm going to do my own little ritual. I'm going to write down a list of things that I no longer want, that I want to let go, and I'm just going to burn it. And I might just burn it with a candle. I'm just going to burn it. I don't want X, Y, and Z. Then my long-term goal is, what do I want? But I'm not going to say it out loud, but I know what I want. So I'm going to write it down, and then I'm going to bury it in my garden and then watch it manifest. So it's kind of like ideology, and it's kind of like a ritual. Whether it's a religious or a spiritual, it's still like a ritual. The lighting of the candles, the burning of the incense stick, or saging and clearing the energy. It's kind of like to declutter, to remove, to end that what's not working for you. And it's kind of like to focus more on what do you want and not what you want. Because the more that you focus on what you don't want, then that happens. Because this God, this deity, whatever you label this non-human being, they only hear what you focus on. So the key is to be specific. And don't limit yourself saying, well, I don't have the money, don't have the time, and the resources. Just write down it's like your wish list for Amazon. You know what you want from Amazon. So just treat the universe like Amazon, because you know exactly what you want. So to be explicit. And while I'm telling you, I'm also telling myself that I need to be a bit more explicit with what I want and what I don't want. So I've got my lunar eclipse cards. So I'm just going to see what is the message for the general collective. So it might not resonate with all of you. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet because apparently I do ramble on a bit, and that's by my team. But hey, it is what it is. So I'm going to mix the cards. What is the message for the general collective? What do we need to let go? Ooh, cards are split, and it's split onto this. So I'm going to read. I know it's not in Sagittarius, okay. I know it's in Piscean, okay. I'm not really up to date. But the message is, and it's saying Moon in Sagittarius. That's the card that I've picked. I'm not saying that the eclipse is in the Moon of Sagittarius, okay? This is just a card, okay? It's symbolic. It's saying, what do we need to let go? So it's saying, be prepared to be adaptable, as plans you have laid may take an unexpected course. Well, isn't that quite apt, what I'm saying about letting go? Because I've been saying that I want to manifest X, Y, and Z. Now, saying about, I'm going to write down a list of what I want and I'm going to bury it in the garden and then let that manifest into the reality. And then the card is saying, be prepared to be adaptable, as plans you have laid may take an unexpected course. So that basically means that I know what I want, but obviously the universe is saying, well, actually, Lisa, or for you, we've got something else better aligned for you. So we know exactly what we want. Well, I want this. And I'm telling you guys, well, let's be explicit. And now the card is saying, well, actually, learn to be flexible. Things could change. So that could be unexpected delays or obstacles. And with this eclipse season, I don't know how you guys have been feeling. Sometimes have been near misses and things not going the way that you want it to be. There's been just delays after delay after delay. And it's a bit like that burnt toast theory that will add a delay. But while you're clearing up that mess, maybe that delay was protecting you from being involved in a road traffic accident or being stuck in traffic jam, or you miss your turning, or you discovered a short way home. So what we sometimes is what we perceive to be a negative is actually a blessing in disguise. And what this card is saying is to be a bit more flexible. And not everything is set in gold, even though we know what we want. Because of outside circumstances beyond our control, there's nothing we can do. So it's kind of like to take a deep breath and to be more flexible. So that's what we need to let go of, is to not to be so rigid in our mindset, is how I would interpret this, and to be a bit more flexible in our thinking. And then what do we need to kind of like to focus on? So let's see, what is the message? What to focus? Oh, literally jumped out. Moon and Taurus, but I understand it's not the Moon and Taurus, but remember this is the cards. So the Moon and Taurus message. Now is time for focusing on finances and practical matters. So this is kind of like, what do you want to, so basically it's time to be practical. And this could be talking about investments or considering your work career options, to ask for that bonus or to have a sideline to increase your resources. And it's about being practical as well. So it's kind of like being realistic about your expectations. Yeah, so time for focusing on finances and practical matters. Well, I can relate to this. I suppose we can relate to this, can't we? Because we still are being impacted by the recession and interest rates and inflation, and everything is going up. Whether you are in the best paid job, we all have to kind of like to tighten our purse strings and to be a bit more practical with what we have, and to be mindful of our spending habits as well. And it's kind of like learning to live within our means as well. I mean, some people have credit cards. I actually don't have a credit card. So if I don't have it, I have to save up for it. You know, in this day and age, you've got to have a credit card. Well, I don't have a credit card. But whatever your financial circumstances are, It's kind of like learning to live within your means, to be practical, to revise your budget, see if you can get a cheaper deal elsewhere. So kind of like to check out the competitors. So that could be to do with your car insurance, house insurance, or if you're thinking about getting a car and finance, look around for a better deal as well. And also, to some of us, there might be money owed to us. Or if you have a business, just to make sure that you submit your statements of balances in on time as well, or you get penalised. So like I said, I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. And just for a joke, I've got my mindfulness cards. So I'm going to give it a mix and see what is the message. So similar principle as the lunar cards. What do we need to leave behind? So let's just see. And this is for a joke, okay? It's entertainment, okay? So I'm just in that mood today. So let's see what we need to leave. I said, what do we need to leave behind? And it's saying, spend time outdoors. What do we need to leave behind? So I suppose in one sense it's saying to come out of doors and to go outdoors. Because it's about natural sunlight, isn't it? So if we have been indoors a lot, then it's kind of like saying to get out of doors. Okay, what do we need to focus on going forward into the future? Let's give it another mix. Oh, listen to your favourite music. Okay, so I said what we meant to leave behind, and it's saying spend time outdoors. And then said what to focus on, and it says listen to your favourite music. And I suppose in a sense it's kind of like to do something that makes you happy. And if that is an example to listen to your favourite music, then listen to your favourite music. And to spend more time outdoors. And that's it. I'm just going to leave it short and sweet, to be honest, because I'm feeling a bit off. I've been outside, I tried to get myself grounded and meditated, and I'm still feeling in a bit of like a kerfuffle. And I thought, you know what? Let's see if I can get a download. Let's see, what is the message, if I can get a download. I suppose the message is to be more your authentic self, to stop being a people pleaser. If you want change, then you've got to start with yourself, basically. You've got to take back your power, your magic, your energy. That's the key theme, actually. It's about, because remember it was on about the moon eclipse and how energetically, I believe, that it can affect your energy. So it's about protecting your energy. And if you notice, I said about being grounded. And that's literally about being either, if you have the opportunity to spend 10-15 minutes outdoors, just be barefoot on the grass or on the soil, but I'm not really into the soil, so grass for me is fine. Or just to soak your feet in water. It's about reconnecting with nature, being outdoors. And if you are going to go in environments where it's intense, then it's about protecting your energy. It's kind of like putting up a visible shield of protection so that you're not influenced by other people's energies. And let's be honest, there's people, friends, family, that suck the energy out of you. When you leave them, or if they're in your company, you feel downhearted, you feel depressed, you've got a headache, you just feel like, ugh. And that's about energy. Because we are all influenced by each other's energies. Or some people might say, I don't like the vibe. So it's about learning to protect your energies. Especially as we all get to be more sensitive about our environment, to the point where people are being kind of like precious. And kind of like, and you've seen these things about people having the St. George flag up, or the British flag, to say that it's kind of like being patriotic, isn't it? But there's an energy I've realised about divide and conquer and divisions and racism and immigrants, and they're taking our jobs, and it's just a lot of negative energy around. I mean, I remember going for a drive with my daughter, and I just felt out of place, displaced. But I suppose people that look like this will often feel displaced. And that sense of displacement, that sense of not belonging, it seems, I don't know if it's to do with age or the situation or I'm picking up on something. It's feeling displaced out of my comfort zone. So it's kind of like learning to protect my energy. And I think that is the general message. It's just to protect your energy mentally, physically, psychologically, the whole you. It's about protecting your energy, but also to speak your truth and to learn to say no and not to explain the reasons. If you're not available, you're not available. And that's it, guys. I'm rambling on. Might not make sense, but like I said before, just take what resonates. And as per usual, thank you for following Lisa Derby City. Peace and love and good vibes. Mwah.